Oh yeah. Hello motherfuckers, and welcome back to a new episode of What You Got More Games. Now for this video, this is going to be part 2, continuation of the Osaka pickups. Last pickups I showed off some awesome stuff that I picked up throughout different stores and the Pokemon Center in Osaka. So be sure to check out that video if you haven't already. Link is going to be in the description, as well as my Japan Memories video. So hope you guys enjoyed that. For those of you who have watched those videos already, thank you so much for checking them out. If you haven't watched already, please be sure to do so. And now I'm going to be showing off all the stuff that I got from 2 very awesome game stores in the Den town area in Osaka, Japan. That is Game Tate-dan and A2. So let's go ahead and start off with the stuff that I got from Game Tate-dan, which is now the only store in Japan to finally carry copies of FX Uniyuki. So if you ever plan on going to Osaka, Japan soon, if you ever plan to check out the store, and if you missed out on the Kickstarter for FX Uniyuki, definitely hit up Game Tate-dan. They will definitely supply you with your FX Uniyuki fix, or you can also check out fxuniyuki.com. I'm going to leave that link in the description as well, so be sure to check it out. Be sure to support the game. Alright, so let's go ahead and show off the stuff that I got from Game Tate-dan. Got quite a few good stuff right here, so let's go ahead and begin. So the first game I got right here for 800 yen is a game that I've actually been looking for on the Famicom, and I was finally able to find it for a good price, and that is the Tower of Druaga. Now this is a game I definitely played as a kid and enjoyed very, very much. I actually found out about this game through one of those like fake NES TV game things that was like the shape of like a Nintendo 64 controller. This game was part of that like 200 games that was originally built in, and I definitely loved the game. It was a very fun game. I loved the music in it, so I decided to finally have a copy for myself for the collection. Alright, and moving on to a couple things right here. We got Blastozer. If you guys don't know, in America this is known as Blast Corps, where you control as one of different vehicles and robots. You go around the city, pretty much go around the world, completing different missions, destroying buildings and all that cool stuff. So we got that right there. I believe this one was about 600-700 yen. It was very cheap and in very mint condition too, so I'm very happy to pick that up. Alright, and we got some pretty cool PlayStation games. We got this game that I used to have as a kid, and I kind of like the series just because I grew up with it. I know some people don't like it. It looks kind of weird. And it was one of those like weird transitions from like 2D to 3D, but I don't know, I kind of like the series, and I wish they would eventually revive the series in one way or another, and that is the Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha on the PlayStation. Great shape. I got this one for about 700 yen, I believe. Like 500, 600, 700 yen. It was very cheap. I decided to pick it up, and you know, happy to have that into the collection. Now this game right over here, this one was about 1500 yen, and I did not know that this series had a racing game. Well, until now, until I saw it, and DJ told me, hey, definitely check it out, pick it up, it's a pretty good racing game. So if he says to check out a game, most likely you should check it out, and that is Rockman Battle and Chase for the original PlayStation. It's in pretty decent shape. It was originally originally 2,000 yen, but since it did have some damages, it did knock off the price a little bit to about 1,500 yen, which is an interesting thing about Game Tate-dan. They'll have a set price on something, but if there is a couple damages on the box or the case or the manual, they'll actually have like a tag that'll indicate, you know, it does have damage, and they'll actually knock the price off a little bit. So like 10, 20, 30% off, just depends on how bad the damage is on the game or the case. And it'll show up when you bring this to the cash register, which I thought was a pretty interesting aspect about Game Tate-dan. And I'll actually show you this example right over here with this game, Crest of Wolf for the PC Engine. So originally this was 2,900 yen, and with this little tag, it did have some damage on the manual, so they actually knocked it to 10% off. So I ended up paying about around 2,600 yen. So I did save a few bucks, even though it did have a little bit damage. But when the Japanese consider something damaged, for us it's like a very light scuff or a very light bang or something like that. So we got that game right here. In America, this is known as Riot Zone. So it's a pretty cool beat 'em up. Very excited to check this out. Alright, we got a few more games right over here. We got some Mega Drive goodies, and you know me, I love my Mega Drive. So first up for 1,800 yen is Wonder Boy 3 Monster World. I'm sorry, I said that completely wrong. So this is 1,800 yen, complete in case, beautiful condition. And this is basically Wonder Boy 3 from the PC Engine version for the Mega Drive. And I do love the art. I do love the cover art. I mean, just looks very nice and colorful, cartoony. That's pretty much the reason why I picked it up. I just thought it looked awesome. So I went ahead and snatched that up. For 4,000 yen, I decided to pick up Devil's Crash Mega Drive. Now, I saw some stores have this game for about 5,000–6,000 yen. It is a little bit of a pricier title. Then again, a lot of Mega Drive games are, since it didn't do as good as it did here in America. But it's a pretty cool satanic style, like gothic pinball game. If you guys have played Alien Crush, Devil Crush on the TurboGrafx, you know what I'm talking about. This game is very similar to that. I think it's part of the series, but I'm not really too sure. 4,000 yen, I thought it was a pretty good price for this game, so went ahead and snatched that up. Alright, we got a few more games right over here. We got Thunder Force 2. Now this was originally 2,500 yen. But it did have a little bit of damage on the insert in the manual, so I got it down to like 2,100 yen. Like I said, complete in case, great condition, and a pretty awesome shmup to add to the collection. So we got that right there. Alright, next up is a game that I originally had for the Sega Genesis, but my copy is beat up, no manual, visible wear on the cart and on the label, but I decided to get this one since this one apparently is a lot cheaper than the American one. Usually it's the other way around, but you know what? It's cool. I love the cover art, and I got this for about 3,600 yen, which is a reasonable price. Turns out I found it at another store for like a couple yen less, but I was like, oh well. This one's in really nice shape, and that is Tatsujin. In America, it's known as Truxton. I have Truxton, but my copy is very bad shape. This one is very, very nice. I would say like somewhat near mint. I mean, everything has been well taken care of. You know, it seems like the previous owner or the previous owners barely even played the game at all. And yeah, it's a really good shmup, and very happy to have this in the collection. And the last game that I have is a very cool N64 game. It's a game I've been looking for a while. It's kind of like a run and gun shooter type game. It's very interesting, and I don't know, it's always intrigued me, and I definitely wanted to pick it up for the collection, and that is Sin and Punishment. Originally 3,900 yen, did have some damage on the manual and the box, 10% off, so I ended up getting it for 3,500 yen, even said so right there. And so yeah, very, very happy to add this to the collection, and thank you so much to Game Tate-Dan. Like I said, first store in Japan to hold copies of FX Uni-Yugi, so if you're ever in the Osaka area, or if you ever plan to go into Osaka, if you missed out on the game through Kickstarter, it's not too late. Definitely check out Game Tate-Dan. So now, we're going to move on to the stuff that I got at A2. A2 was definitely one of my favorite stores in Osaka. I spent a lot of money, and I'm going to show you pretty much everything that I got from there. A lot of good stuff, so you're definitely going to want to check this out. So let's go ahead and begin. Alright, so first off, we got a couple cheap PS2 games. Granted, we got a couple more Guilty Gear games. We got Guilty Gear XX Core Plus. And I believe this version in particular had 2 new characters. Cliff and Justice, I believe that's what their names are. So we got that right there. This one's about 300 yen. Like I said, Guilty Gear games, very fun games to play, and they're very cheap. That's what I like about them. Guilty Gear XX, The Midnight Carnival Reload. I believe this one was the one that came with Robo Kai as a playable character, which kind of interesting, but you know what? Hey, that's okay with me. Another game, 300 yen, great shape. This one as well, I believe it was 300 yen, I'm not too sure, but I do like this cover though, and that is Tekken Tag Tournament. My original US copy was kind of beat up. It was an older copy I had from a long time ago, and this one is a very mint copy, and it's one of those games obviously you don't really have to know any Japanese to play. It's a fighting game, and a very good fighting game at that, and you know, look at that. Very cool. We got the picture of Kazuya pretty much stealing all the spotlight right there. So if you guys saw from my first Osaka pickup video, I picked up the original Arcana Heart 1. And at A2, I decided to pick up Arcana Heart 2 and 3 just to check them out and to see how good of a fighting series this game is. So we got Arcana Heart 2, I paid about 800 yen for this one. And we got Arcana Heart 3, which I paid more or less the same price of Arcana Heart 2. I believe, from what I heard, we never got this in America. We only got 1 and 3. I could be wrong, but I mean, that's just something that I heard. But you know what? Look at her. She's just showing off them tits. Oh, yeah. If you guys don't know, Blazblue pretty much got the same treatment as Guilty Gear. They have so many different revisions, and I picked up two for 300 yen each. I was gonna say 200, but no, I picked up these two for 300 yen, and that is Blazblue Continuum Shift and Continuum Shift Extended. Great shape, completing case, and you know, it's always good to have new PSP games for the collection because my PSP collection is slacking. And this one, DJ actually picked up for 300 yen, but he was very nice enough to give it to me since it's a game that I kind of missed out on, and apparently the people at IGS, the people who made the IGS PGM, had a role in this game, and I thought that was very interesting. So I definitely had to check that out. It is a fighting game, and that is Spectral vs. Generation. Now, I've never really heard much of this game, but I'm very excited to try it out, especially if it's a fighter, and especially if it was made by IGS, which is kind of ironic, but you know what? Very happy to check this out nonetheless. We got some cool Game Boy Color games from a series that I am a very big fan of, and that is Bomberman series. So we got Bomberman Max Red and Blue version. Now, I don't know what the Japanese names are, but these were about 600 yen each. Both of them are in great shape. This one's a little bit more mintier than this one, but other than that, great games to check out. Looked up some gameplay footage and it looks pretty fun, so definitely had to add these to the collection. Next game right here, Puyo Puyo. You know me, I've definitely been going crazy with the Puyo Puyo games in Osaka, so you know, we had to pick up Puyo Puyo 2 Remix on the Super Famicom. Very nice condition. The box is oh so excelente, and I got this for about 1,400 yen, so not too bad at all. For basically like $4, I picked up the original Wave Race 64. For those of you who don't know, there are some games, or like 2 games, that actually had 2 different versions, and that is Super Mario 64 and Wave Race 64. They had the original version, and they had a Rumble Enhanced version, which, you know, was compatible with the Rumble Pack. I thought that was very interesting. So next game right over here is a Disney interactive game, but it's a pretty cool one. Let me see if I can read it. So that is Mickey no Challenge. No, Racing Challenge. Racing Challenge USA. I think in America it's called Mickey Speedway USA. I'm not too sure. I've never played the American version. Or I've actually never owned it. I've played it, but I've never owned it. And this one was about 600 yen. I thought it was very cheap, great shape, a little bit of damage on the box. But you know what? That's alright for 600 yen. And for a game I don't even have for the collection, ain't gonna pass it up. No way. Now this is another game that I've never had in the collection. And I've never found it for a good price. But I was able to pick this up for 1,800 yen. Just a little bit of wear on the box and manual, but I mean, looks like a really good game, so I decided to pick it up. And that is Snowboard Kids, or Snowboard Kids, how it's called in Japan. Great shape, very nice game. It's like kind of like a kidly friendly version, like a chibi version of 1080 snowboarding from the looks of it, but it's made by Atlas, so definitely have to check that out. So, very nice pickup right there. Alright, moving on to a lot of PC Engine stuff, and we got a Saturn game and a Neo Geo CD game in the mix. So let's go ahead and start out with that. For the Neo Geo CD, we got Power Spikes 2. This is a game I did not have for the collection, so you know, it's a no-brainer right there. Next game, let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, now I have this game, the Cruisin' Mix, on the PS4, but for 2,500 yen, couldn't pass up the original, and that is Game Tengoku, the game Paradise, which is a very awesome, kind of like a cute 'em up, but it's a vertical shmup, and it is muy excelente. Very good game. And everything right here are PC Engine goodness. So we got some very, very fun games. We got Proteus on the PC Engine. I paid about 4,000 yen for this one. So we got Shibibi Man 3 right over here. Now it's funny because the only Shibibi Man game I've ever played, or Shockman in the US, was the one on the Super Famicom that DJ gave me. So this is a good opportunity for me to kind of get familiar with the series and check out the games, because from what I heard, they're pretty good. So definitely have to check those out. We got the original Choaniki, the most bizarre shoot 'em up I've probably ever played. The most, bizarre shmup series. But you got like crazy buff like muscle dudes, and it's weird, but you know what? You gotta love it. It's only that stuff you can only find in Japan. Next game right over here, which is also a pretty cool little shmup, and that is Hellfire for the PC Engine. Completing case, great shape. Alright, we got a few more games right over here. We got, I should have looked up the name of this game. I don't know what it's called, but it's called something something Tiger. If you guys can let me know what the name of the game is, or if I find out before I edit the video, I'll be sure to post it down here. I should have looked it up beforehand, but you know what? What you gonna do? And these last two games were made when Konami was ruling the shmup scene. Now, they suck. And that is Gradius and Salamander, also known as Life Force in America. For the PC Engine, I paid about, 2,500 yen for each. And I thought it was a pretty good price, so I definitely snatched those up. Very happy to add some shmups to the PC Engine collection. Alright, so moving on to the last few items for this episode. This one was about 500 yen, and that is Fighting Climax. It's a fighting series that I've never heard of before, so I saw it was a fighting game, so I decided to check it out. It's made by Sega? Yep. Sega. So, that was a no-brainer. And this was a game that I've actually went to Japan to keep an eye out for, and luckily A2 had it for a pretty good price. And it's a game made by Cave. It's a game that I originally found out about through one of the emulation discs that a buddy sent me, and I played it. It's a very awesome shmup game, a vertical shmup by the way. It has some great music, some great levels, and yeah, it's just a really great game, and I'm very happy to add this to the PS3 collection. That is Ketsui Kizuna Jikoku Tachi Extra for the PS3. So we got that right there, and it actually comes with a bonus DVD. So I'm definitely gonna have to look to check that out. I think it's like with the soundtrack and with some like gameplay footage and stuff like that. But nonetheless, yeah, I'm very happy to add this to the collection. I love my shmups, and this was something that I definitely wanted to keep a lookout for. So I finally got it. So the last two items, PC Engine related. I got this for 2,400 yen. It's a great controller, one of my personal favorites on the PC Engine to use for fighting games, and that is the PC Engine Avenue 6 pad. We got that, great shape, looks very nice, and in my opinion, this is a very good controller to use for games like Street Fighter for the PC Engine. And the last thing that I got is a controller that you either love or you hate. Apparently Chad loves it, but a lot of people that I know don't really like it. It's not the ideal controller for like fighting games. It is a little bit stiff, but I was able to find it for the box for 5,500 yen. I thought it was a good price. And here's the thing that confused me. They had a loose copy of the controller and they had a complete in box controller, and they were both the same price, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking up the complete in box one. So yeah, we got the NEC Arcade 6 pad. So if you guys don't know what the Arcade 6 pad, I'm going to go ahead and open it up for you so you can see what it looks like. So if you guys are familiar with the PCFX, this is pretty much the same design as the PCFX controller, or if you guys are aware of the PC Engine Duo R, this controller came standard with that system. Like I said, it's not the best way to play fighting games. The D-pad is a little bit stiff. It is a little bit hard to maneuver some of the tricks in Street Fighters, but overall the buttons are kind of good. I do like the design of controller. I just wish the D-pad was a little bit better, a little more responsive, but you know what? It's a decent controller. I do like it. Some people don't, but you know, we're all entitled to our own opinions. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up everything that I picked up from game Tatedan and A2. Alright, so that's gonna wrap up today's video. Thank you once again for watching, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.